output that is smaller than the increases in output that resulted from adding previous units of labor, we have the property of diminishing labor, diminishing output, diminishing marginal product, or negative marginal product. Of course, the answer would be anyone? Nam? Pinyo?
It's C.
Yes. Guys, I need your participation, okay? Please do participate. Now answer this question. This is the real-time application. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to read this example and then answer. Everyone, please. Okay, time's up. So what is the answer, Pinyo?
I think B.
Okay, say B. Rodrigo?
I'm not sure yet, sir.
Did you complete reading the options?
Not all of them.
Okay, please continue reading. I'll move
The
to
A.
A, and then we are confused with.
I also agree with David. It's A.
Which one?
A.
Same A.
A. One says B, and then A. We are having two options. Okay, Paulo.
I will go with A.
A. Okay, Faik, Kim, Isaac,
I said A.
A.
Osama. Subhan.
A, I guess.
Do we have Subhan here? No? Okay. Okay, the answer is D. Sorry, A. Why is A? Here we go. When the workers are 2, the production is 3,000. Right? No.
Yeah.
So, sorry. On a 100-acre farmer is able to produce 3,000. Okay. He's able to produce 4,000 when there are 3 workers. 4,400 when there are 3 workers. So which one is the possibility? Which of the following possibilities is consistent with the property of diminishing marginal product? So what is the marginal product here? 1,400. Additional worker is helping to produce 1,400 more. And if they hire 4th worker, he should be producing less than 1,400, not even equal to 1,400. So if the total bushels are 6,000, what is the difference here? 1,600. It cannot be the answer. If they hire 4th worker and they produce 5,800, and the difference is exactly 1,400. But diminishing marginal return says that next person that you hire will only contribute less than before. So they are producing even. That is not the answer. Let's talk about if we hire 4th worker, number A, then this one is 1,200 as compared to 4,400. So this can be the logical answer. Answer is A, not B. Right? So the one who thought about B, I hope I clarified this option here, right? Okay, now from the production function to the total cost curve. So the total cost curve shows the graphical representation between outputs and their total cost. Here we go. So when we talk about the total cost concept, so we talk about the fixed cost and variable cost, right? So from now on, the concept of implicit and explicit cost already embedded. Whenever we talk about total cost, it's already included that in economics, we already mean that it included both implicit plus explicit. So remember that. That's why the accounting profit is more than the economic profit. So the various measures of the cost for production may be divided into fixed and variable cost. Fixed cost, which do not vary with the level of output. If quantity increase, cost remains the same. If quantity decrease, cost remains the same. Variable, which do vary with the quantity of output produced. For example, if we add one worker, the cost increase. If we have 10 workers, the cost increases. If we decrease one worker, cost decreases, right? So this kind of the cost behavior, we call this variable cost, double raw material cost. If you produce more, you need to have more raw material. If you produce more, you will need to have more workers. Or if you work more hours, the workers need to pay more wages. So there's a difference between salaries and wages. Wages are variable because it varies by hourly rate based on hours. So those who are giving fixed salary, for example, supervisors, CEOs, they are not working in factory, they are in head offices. So whether they work 3 hours or whether they work 10 hours, they would be given the same. That is a fixed cost, fixed salary, okay? So now the total cost is equal to total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Here we go. So we know these three: number of inputs, which is number of workers, and the workers are producing this many cookies, and the margin product of labor like this. Here we go. Now we are giving the cost of factory, which is maybe the rent. For example, the rent 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, right? So you see here, whether they produce 50, 90, 120, 140, 150, 155, the cost of the factory is the same. So we call this is fixed cost. And then what is the variable cost? You see here, cost of workers when there was zero output, right? The cost of the worker is also zero. When they produce 50, the cost of the workers is 10. It means with the increase in the level of output from 0 to 155, the cost of workers has increased. This is called, here we go, this is called the variable cost, right? So even though we are not given this, right? And even if we are not given these two columns, even then we can find out the variable and fixed cost. How? Look at the total cost. Total cost include, we know that the formula for total cost would be fixed cost, total fixed cost plus total variable cost, right? So recall the definition of variable and fixed. So even with the zero production, you see here, even if the zero production here, okay, sorry. Even with the zero production here, even then we are having total cost. It must be the case that this belongs to total cost, because when production is zero, variable cost must be zero, right? In that case, this 30 is your fixed cost. We can easily find out that. And what is the variable cost? You less 30 from every cost here. You can easily calculate the variable cost. So 60 is 90 minus 30, 50, 80 minus 30, 40, 70 minus 30, right? Let me just clear all this mess here, right? So you know how we can calculate from different ways the variable cost and fixed cost. Any question? Dijodi, Faik, Marilyn?
No, I don't have
Julia?
any questions.
No.
Okay, then let's move. So if we draw, what we think about that, because we don't have much time, so I'm just gonna leave our class activity 2. If we draw the output versus the total cost, it would be like this. So recall our production function line. That was the inverted one, right? The opposite one. So look at here. So this is the production function line and this is the total cost line. So can you look the similarity something? So we call this opposite side of the same coin. So total cost curve gets steeper as amount produced rises, whereas production function gets flatter as amount of production rises, right? So why the amount of production rises, the production function gets steeper? We already talked about that, but let's just do it again. What are the reason? Because increasing workers means more sharing of the same tools and space. So also it is costly as well. Why? Because workers are getting the same salary, per hour salary, but they are sharing the same capital over there or the same tools over there. So that's why the production is getting slower. So opposite side of the same coin. Again, production, the total cost gets steeper when production increases. You see, from here it looks like it is going up like y-axis, steeper. So when we talk about the production function gets flatter, which means more towards the x-axis when output increases, right? Okay, let's talk about so total cost is equal to total fixed cost plus variable cost. And what are the average cost? Average cost is when you divide it by the quantity. So here we go. Average fixed cost is equal to total fixed cost divided by the quantity. Total fixed cost divided by the quantity, right? Or just fixed cost, because when we talk about the fixed cost, we already talked about we assume that we talk about it